Let me tell you a little story. A few winters ago, I visited an old friend of mine, 78 years old, Vietnam vet, stubborn as a mule, but sharp as ever. For years, Earl had been complaining about his knees. Said they felt like rusted hinges every time he stood up. But this time, when he answered the door, he wasn't limping. He was grinning. "Doc, I found something. You'll never guess where." He pointed to his refrigerator. Now, Earl isn't the type to buy fancy health products or order trendy supplements online, but he did start drinking something so simple. So every day, most people walk past it without a second thought. Yet what it did for his joints? Well, that's what brought me here to tell you this story. Because you see, as we age, something critical inside us begins to fade, something you don't feel disappearing. Until one day your knees ache climbing stairs, your hips feel tight getting out of bed, or your hands struggle to twist open a jar. That something is collagen, the body's invisible scaffolding. It holds us together, keeps joints smooth, skin firm, muscles steady. But after 60, its structure starts to wear down fast, unless you know how to feed it. And no, it's not some magic pill or expensive cream. The real solution? Well, it just might be hiding in plain sight. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how this forgotten fridge item could help you move, sleep, and feel like yourself again. You've probably walked past it 100 times at the grocery store, never giving it a second glance. It's not flashy, doesn't shout for attention like the apples or berries. But let me tell you something I've learned after decades in medicines. The most powerful healing tools come in the most overlooked packages. That's exactly the case with Chayote, or what some folks call vegetable pear. Now, before you roll your eyes at the thought of a green, wrinkly squash, listen carefully, because this little guy might just be your knee's best friend. You see, Chayote is one of the richest natural sources of vitamin C, and that's no small thing. Without vitamin C, your body simply cannot produce collagen. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's like trying to build a house without any nails. No matter how strong the wood, it won't hold together. But Chayote doesn't just help build collagen, it supercharges it. A single Chayote gives you nearly half your daily vitamin C, acting like a foreman on a construction site, guiding your body's collagen-building crew to get to work faster, stronger, more efficiently. On top of that, it's loaded with potassium and antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation quietly smoldering in your joints. That swelling in your knees after a long walk, that stiffness in your hands first thing in the morning. This vegetable helps turn down that internal fire, and I've seen it work. I once recommended Chayote to a retired teacher in her 70s. Put on tea, climbed a flight of stairs without wincing in 5 years. She added it to her diet daily, blended it into a juice I'll show you soon. And within 2 weeks, she was walking to the second floor without holding on to the railing. I didn't know how good I could feel, she told me, until I remembered what normal felt like again. That's the kind of change we're talking about here. Real relief, real movement, real life returning. And here's what makes it even better. You, Dante, need to search far or spend big. Chayote is sold in nearly every supermarket across the country, usually for under $1 a piece. It's the kind of remedy hiding in plain sight, waiting to be noticed. But remember what I said earlier? Collagen needs more than one ingredient to thrive. Chayote gets the process started. Right. But the next item we'll talk about, that's the enzyme-rich powerhouse that makes your joints feel years younger. Most people eat the fruit, but throw away the part that holds the true magic. Don't go anywhere. What's coming next might just change how you look at your fruit bowl forever. Now here's the part that shocked even me, a part of a fruit most people throw away without thinking twice. Maybe one of the strongest natural anti-inflammatories I've ever come across. I'm talking about the core of a pineapple. Yes, the tough, fibrous center that folks usually toss in the trash. That's the gold mine. See, what makes pineapple so special isn't just its tropical sweetness, it's bromelain, a powerful enzyme concentrated in the core. Most people enjoy the juicy outer rings, but what they don't realize is that the real healing is happening in the heart of the fruit. Bromelain breaks down proteins into smaller pieces. It's making nutrients easier to absorb and putting less stress on your digestive system. But here's the kicker: it has been shown in studies to reduce inflammation almost as effectively as some prescription medications, but without the side effects that wreck your stomach or your kidneys. Now let that sink in for a moment. A natural compound inside a fruit you can buy at any grocery store is going head-to-head with man-made drugs and, in many cases, coming out ahead. That's not hype. That's science. And inflammation, my friends, is the true villain behind so much of the joint pain we experience as we age. It's not always the cartilage wearing out. It's the swelling, the pressure, the immune system firing off unnecessary alarms. What bromelain does is calm that storm. It's like putting water on a slow-burning fire deep inside your knees, hips, and hands. I've had patients with fingers swollen like sausages come back to me 2 weeks later able to twist open a jar again. Not because we added more pills, but because we gave the body what it was quietly asking for all along. And here's a little trick: when you include the pineapple core in your juice, blend it thoroughly, you release even more bromelain into the mix. It's not only healing, it's practical. Waste less, get more. That's something our grandparents understood, and something we've almost forgotten. When paired with the chayote I mentioned earlier, a pineapple turns your morning drink into a 1-2 punch. One ingredient builds the collagen. The other clears the path for it to do its job. But if you really want to seal the deal, you need one final ingredient. It's not a fruit or a vegetable. Something you might remember from your childhood. Clear, tasteless, comes in a little packet. And it's made from something quite surprising. Let's just say, if collagen were a building, this next ingredient would be the bricks. Hang tight. What comes next is the most direct, most potent source of collagen I've ever prescribed on. It's hiding in plain sight. Now here's the part that makes everything come together. The ingredient that turns this from a healthy drink into a true rebuilding formula. It may sound simple, even old-fashioned, but I assure you, it's nothing short of remarkable. That ingredient is plain unflavored gelatin. Yes, the same stuff your grandmother probably used to make jiggly desserts on Sunday afternoons. But don't let its simplicity fool you. It's one of the most direct and absorbable forms of collagen you can put into your body. You see, gelatin is essentially collagen that's already been broken down into smaller parts called peptides. That means your body doesn't have to work hard to use it. It just absorbs and goes straight to work, repairing joints, strengthening cartilage, restoring elasticity to your skin, and even giving your hair and nails new life. What makes this ingredient so powerful is its content of glycine and proline, two amino acids that most older adults aren't getting nearly enough of. These aren't just nutrients, they're building materials, raw components your body desperately needs, but struggles to produce in meaningful quantities. After age 60, glycine, in particular, has also been linked to deeper sleep and improved brain functions, something many of my older patients notice. Within just a week or two of adding this to their routine, "Doc," one woman told me, "I haven't slept this well in years and my knees don't creak when I get out of bed anymore." But timing and preparation are everything. You can't just stir gelatin into cold water and call it a day. You need to hydrate it properly, then warm it gently so it dissolves fully. That's the only way to unlock its full potential. And when you combine it with the vitamin C from the chayote and the anti-inflammatory power of pineapple, you're not just drinking a healthy juice, you re-delivering the perfect trio of signals to your body. Build, repair, restore. And yes, I've seen the results. Dozens of older patients, from farmers to former school teachers, have regained mobility, reduced pain, and even improved posture just by drinking this blend once a day. But consistency is key. The body needs rhythm, repetition, and the right ingredients in the right amounts at the right time. So, what's the exact recipe? How much of each ingredient do you need? When should you drink it for maximum absorption? And how do you prepare it to make sure every nutrient is activated properly? Well, that's where we're headed next, because the difference between trying this and truly benefiting from it comes down to the way you put it all together. Stick with me, and I'll show you exactly how to craft your own collagen rebuilding drink step by step. Now that you know the why, let me show you the how. Because when it comes to these three ingredients, chayote, pineapple, and gelatin, getting the preparation right is what makes all the difference. First, take half a chayote, peeled and diced into small cubes. Then cut a 3/4 inch slice of fresh pineapple. Core included, that's where the bromelain hides. Add both to your blender along with 1 2/3 cups of filtered water. Blend this for a full 3 minutes to break down the fibers and release every bit of nutrition. While that's going, take 1 packet of unflavored gelatin, about 10 grams, and mix it with 5 tablespoons of warm water. Not hot, just warm to the touch. Let it sit for 5 minutes, then gently melt it until completely liquid. Once your fruit blend is smooth, pour in the melted gelatin and blend again for 2 more minutes. You'll end up with a light green, slightly thick juice. Drink 1 glass about 7 ounces every morning on an empty stomach, and wait at least 20 minutes before eating. This gives your body a chance to absorb the nutrients without interference. Stay consistent. 21 days minimum. But if you can keep going for 90 days, that's when the real magic begins. And trust me, your joints will thank you. Listen closely, because if you're over 60 and waking up with stiff legs, aching joints, or that heavy dragging feeling in your knees, this is your warning. What you're feeling isn't just old age. It's your body sending an urgent message. Your collagen reserves are running dry. Your joints are breaking down faster than they can repair themselves. And if you ignore it, you risk losing more than comfort. You risk losing your mobility, your independence, and the freedom to enjoy life on your terms. But here's the good news. You can fight back. With 3 simple, natural ingredients, chayote, pineapple, and gelatin, you have the tools to nourish your joints from the inside out. No gimmicks, no overpriced pills. It's just real food, real nutrients, and real science to support every step you take. I've seen this work in my own life. I've seen it work in my patients. And if you stay consistent day by day, it can work for you too. So don't wait until the pain forces you into a chair. Start now. Rebuild your strength, restore your joints, and reclaim the freedom to move like yourself again. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. I read them. And if you found this helpful, hit that follow button, tap the bell. Share it with a friend or loved one who's starting to slow down. They deserve to hear this. You don't have to grow old in pain, not on my watch.